So, Adina, welcome, and we're excited to have you and where to start with branding.
All right. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm in the Air Force Reserve, so I leave to Tokyo next Monday, and I help run a health and wellness business with my husband, and I help launch our branding and our social media and also our marketing. So, we had a meeting last week, Janine and I, and it kind of went more into my background. But I'll just do like a mini of that. I've been marketing and branding for the last 8 years and using social media to grow our branding online and emailing, and I know how to place Google ads and all these different things. I think the one thing that made it interesting, as you guys are realtors, is that I didn't really know what an entrepreneur was until my husband was asked to launch a stem cell clinic, and they hired me to be their marketer, and I learned how to do guerrilla marketing, setting up events and going to like the Chamber of Commerce and all those things. And at that point, we had joined Grant Cardone U, and he's a big realtor. So in this space, it makes sense. And when I learned about the different things that he talks about with the marketing triangle or the marketing matrix, which is marketing, operations, and finance. And if you have finances, you need finances to do payroll, you need finances to pay yourself. You also have to take care of your taxes, all that stuff. And then operations is your main big idea, or it's where you innovate and you create, and that's where you deliver. But without marketing, none of it can grow. And so once I learned that, it really made sense that if I don't have a good messaging, or if I don't have a good brand or a strong sense of where I'm taking my avatar or leading them on this customer path, then I can't grow my finances and I can't grow product development, right? Those things go hand in hand. And a lot of people talk just between finance and operations and they get in this creative fight. But they really, if they focus on their marketing and their branding, it's going to grow all of that triangle and grow your business. And so that really changed my life. And then after I started studying with him, in about 8 months, 8 to 10 months of implementing online business strategies and Facebook ads, I helped grow that stem cell business to 6-figure months of profit, which is $50 placement ads on Facebook, and learning how to leverage online. And then once we started our own clinic, I just knew like if we know enough about marketing, like Grant talks about, you're going to have a good business because you're always going to know how to engage your avatar or your key persona. And then that brought in branding, because I do web design and also do actually how to find your why. So where you want to start with your branding is your why. It's really your messaging. And today with AI going on, everyone's like, oh, you can use ChatGPT, which is really great to leverage as a solopreneur or as a real estate agent or as someone who's working more in contracting and needing to find leads all the time. You can leverage that. But the one thing AI can't take is you and your story and the way you connect with your audience, and that's your brand. And when you know, oh, your why, you can actually talk to the people because you know who you are, you know your vision, and you know how to package that. So then the right persona or avatar is led to you through your marketing. So the branding is super important because it's about you. The marketing is about your key customer or your client. And in marketing, you're always talking to them, to their pain points, to what they want. But your branding is going, well, is what I'm about? And can we align this together with the key messaging that we do? So that's why I think the difference is so many people just focus on maybe color and design, which we'll go in a little bit. I did research what's the best colors for real estate agents because there are psychology of color that comes into your branding. And there are ways that it's going to package you to when they find your website and people stalk you and make sure you're a real person, not a robot. They want to know that you're real, right? And that's why your website becomes your portfolio, or your Instagram page is like where they see you and realize you're a real person and they want to work and connect with you. So the best colors for real estate agents, you want to build trust, is blue. Blue is a really good color for real estate agents to have. It's also what doctors use. Doctors typically will use blue or green as well because it establishes that authority. And I see, Randy, you've got blue in your branding, and you've already like probably done that whole brand process of where you find out your stories and you find out what makes your brand different and how you differentiate yourself. And that's where the process that I go through with people is I'll do what's called like a brand therapy, and I'll really pull out your story. So it becomes your brand becomes part of you because you are your brand. The way you talk, your character, the way you grow yourself makes a big difference with why people trust you. They want to trust you. They want someone to take care of them, right? And that's where your branding meets their needs and their pain points with marketing. And it's super effective when done right. But honestly, I think as you guys jump in real estate, the best is for you to get your feet wet and to just go into it as soon as you can. And then as you build your portfolio, you can start rebranding and building that up because you need leads. You need to create customers and you need to grow your business, right? And so it's okay to not have it be perfect right now. But as you want to level up and get to different levels, there's different scaling of brandings because you'll have small business, you'll have, maybe under $500,000 production, and then you go up to $1 million production. And that's where you get different levels of branding to come in and to help you with your brand messaging and to keep it very consistent. When you're starting out, it can be messy, and that's okay because people want to see that you're real and that you're really trying and that you're going to stick with your business. So I think as realtors, you're true building relationships with families. You're going to change their life with their homes. So you can think about those types of things as you build your brand. Like what kind of home would I want to share with people? Or if you're doing corporate real estate too, am I working with CEOs? Okay, I need to be talking to CEOs because that's my niche is corporate real estate. So as you hone in your branding and your messaging, then you're going to connect to the right audience. And that's super important in what kind of niche you want to do. Do you guys have any questions or anything about branding or marketing or messaging?
So I'll jump in. So how do you actually really get started? So you said it's like a therapy in the beginning where you kind of find your own messaging.
Yeah.
So how would one just talk to you, or how does one get just started? Or
Um,
can one also get started alone or talk to you? What's the best?
yeah. I go through and go like a deep dive. I have like a whole questionnaire to help get the questions of like what you want. But if you want to do a mini thing right now, I think it's going, okay, finding right now who are your best buyers, your best clients, and thinking of the journey you brought them on, for one. So you're going to start with that to like know this is who you want to build around. So a lot of people will start with their brand and go, I just want to have this. This is what I'm about. This is my mission statement. That's really great. But if it's not connecting to your audience, you don't really understand if it has market like viability. Like, is this viable? You could have this amazing genius idea, but if no one wants it in the market, it doesn't matter. So I like to start backwards and look at the avatar too and see like who am I serving the best? Who are my best clients? And I'm going to hone my messaging and my branding around that. So that's a differentiator that I do. You can do that right now because if all of you have clients, you can see what were my best clients like and how can I make my branding that fits with me go with them. And then put in your whys. I'd say stick to 4 pillars on your branding. So 4 branding pillars are like, they're going to be about yourself. What makes you relatable is like, I have a family. I'm in the Air Force. I also own a business that's in health and wellness. So I'm going to talk about these things. But something you don't know about me is that I love personal development. So these are my pillars that are about me. And because they're about me, they're more dynamic and they're more interesting for people to listen to. And they're going to connect with people who maybe are military members, who maybe love personal development, who maybe also have families, right? And now my opportunity meets their needs as well. So when you start with your branding, pick 4 things, things you're interested in and your purpose. So let's say you're a real estate agent and you want to help people in the home industry and you want to help them have a better life, have their dream home so they can create their adventures. So your opportunity is like, I'm an adventure real estate. I want to get them on vacation homes or I want them to have a family life that they like. So this is what I'm passionate about. Maybe I do it through leadership and development. And maybe my big passion, like maybe I do also have a passion to help. We're gonna pick something random, like a mission, like an impact. Like I want to make sure I'm also really passionate about pets. And so I want to like show that I like love to help save pets too. And so when they get their home, they can also like have a place for their pets, right? So you're going to think about things that you're passionate about. I love leadership. I love pets. I love helping people, like those things that make you unique. Or your passion can just be like, I love helping with CEOs connect so they can create their big dreams. And when they have their beautiful space that they can do, like their business, so you're looking at CEOs and business owners, then you're going, well, I love seeing their dreams come true. So you're looking into that entrepreneur mindset. And then you pick a few other things about yourself. But what I differentiate is that I want to empower CEOs who are women. So I'm going to work with women and I want to have that be one of my niches. And then another fun fact about me is that maybe I like to travel. So like you bring in yourself, you weave in yourself of what you're about, or maybe it's sustainable. I want to help the environment. So you can have some impact into your branding. So that's where conscious capitalism is coming into, where people are looking for people who have, a goal outside of themselves, right? Not just the goal of getting a lead and growing your own business. It's a win-win that way when you serve your client. But if you have a mission like Patagonia, I really love that they want to help create sustainable goods, but they also are trying to help the environment. So their mission and their branding really connects with the right people who are into water sports, who don't do the 9 to 5, right? But they also want to help the environment. You see how their branding is going to connect and draw a certain type of people, and then they're going to speak to their people.
That was lovely.
Okay, well, that's like the mission, but you can just start with going, what am I passionate about? And what really drives me? And I want to connect with those type of people. And those questions will really focus you, and then you'll connect them with your best clients. So if you can do those two things just on your own, you'll really get a good sense of where your branding and where your differentiator as a real estate agent or as a business owner will hit.
Wow. Thank you, Adina. That's really, really some great information. And really some of the takeaways, some of the things that I heard you say is that people want to know you and they want to find a reason to like you.
Mhm.
And that your branding is helping them do that, right? And I think you're going to attract your crowd, your group, your avatar. One, knowing who your avatar is, and then being genuine in what your passions and what your loves are, and that your will attract that right group of people and give them what they're looking for as a way to like you and to learn about you. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and it won't be perfect when you start. You just have to start. And it's going to evolve, I would think, right?
Yeah, it'll evolve and you can always change the color scheme and do all the packaging part. I think that's the packaging part of branding. It's like the finishing touches that help with hiring a designer or hiring someone to hone in the color schemes. But a lot of branding is really authentically who you are. And you all do this as you network very well. That's why you're real estate agents, because you're social, like you already know how to connect with people. It's just getting in a few of those pieces to help you focus maybe your key messaging better, to stick to ways you serve people, and maybe key phrases that you can create, like a tagline that is really unique to you. And as you get to know people, people are going to be like, well, I love Janine because she likes to take her kids on hikes, and I know she does real estate agents. Well, when someone's asking me, um, who do you recommend? And I know, oh, Janine does all this cool stuff, but she's also part of all this business community. She'd be a really good networker for some people that I meet. And so that's how, like, being who you are already and then honing it in with your marketing and branding can really help people just trust you and build that brand. So,
Thank you. One of the things I think, especially for newer agents, we get into real estate and we want to serve everybody. And do you have any tips or some ideas on kind of really honing in, and who is your avatar? Who is it that you want to serve and that's best for your business?
so the best thing and the best advice I've learned, I actually have worked in a digital marketing space with coaches for the last 8 years too. It's actually quite easy to niche it down because the best person that you're going to attract is who you were 5 years ago. So think about where you were. Yeah, this is going to blow your mind. Where you were and why you became a real estate agent and what your pain points were. Because you're going to know how to talk to that avatar because you were them, right? And you're going to attract those people naturally. So when you know who you were, you're the best person to give them the transformation they're looking for. That makes it easy to go, hey, Randy's got this story, and it's maybe we're competing as real estate agents, but he's the guy because he's had to deal with foreclosures or flooding or whatever it was, like through his story that was authentic. Like he actually knows this part of real estate that I don't know. And I need to refer this client to them even though I'm a real estate agent, right? Because he already has been through that journey and I focus just on this. And when you focus on one thing at a time, it is best instead of everybody. You don't want to serve everyone. You do want to focus on the one because then you're going to be known as the real estate agent that just does vacation homes or the commercial real estate agent. And so when your friends are like, "Hey, I just do homes, I do a flipping, but I need to know who's a good commercial real estate agent. I know I can refer them to you." So as you say, hey, I'm going to niche down and focus on that one avatar, you're actually going to get higher paid clients and you're going to get more quality clients because they know you've got this system and this niche packed. So that's how you guys all don't have to compete with each other either, is you really get good at serving one persona and typically it's who you were when you start. If you want to transform out of that, let's say you've been doing that for 8 years and you're getting kind of burnt out, you can reinvent yourself. But typically it's something you've been through because you know how to serve them. You'll know that pain points and you know how to talk to them.
Wonderful. Any questions, comments, feedback?
It's a quiet group.
Yes.
Is there anything you guys just are curious about your own branding or want to know like how to um I don't know, just anything you're curious about, color and design, anything. You can ask, talk about anything.
Well, I was just gonna make a comment. I just forgot to click on mute. Um, it's funny that you say that as far as like why I got into real estate in the first place. And it is because as a first time home buyer, that kind of stuff. And so I definitely have I do a lot with first time home buyers and it is because that's that's who I was and everything. And so it's funny that you say that because I do feel like I specialize in that at this point. So
Yeah. Yeah, and that's great because now they trust you because it's really
mm,
authentic because you've been there. It's really hard for people. Like I've got a friend who she lost her husband and she's trying to talk to counselors who've never grieved, and she's like, they really don't understand it. And it just makes it feel more impactful when she can talk to someone who understands grief. And so it's the same as you. You can understand the anxieties, like they don't know the paperwork, they don't know anything, and how do they trust you? And so if you focus on first time home buyers and really put your messaging on that, if that's what you want to do to grow and scale your business, it will actually scale faster as you niche down and get rid of all the other noise because now you can really put your genius and the expertise you have into that one persona and really get good, like really, really good at serving them.
yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
So Adina, before we forget, do you want to put your contact information in the chat in the Zoom? I'll put it in the WhatsApp channel as well, but just that anybody wants to grab it right now, where we can reach you.
Yeah, I have a link here and I can put it in the chat. And so it has a link to like if you wanted to schedule a one-on-one, and then it also has an opportunity if you want to learn more about marketing and branding. And you can join. I'm doing a master class in November on November 11th as like a free web or as a webinar, so you can learn more about that kind of opportunity. But you all get like a free 15-minute consultation and you can present where you're at and what you want to do, and I'll help you give you some ideas for that.
Perfect. Thank you. That is
Oh,
very special. That 15-minute free consultation is huge. Thank you very much, Adina.
thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Thank you for Thank you for sharing.